Welcome to the Transformative Principal podcast, where we learn how to be an amazing educational leader. I am your host, Jethro Jones. Are you ready to be a transformative principal? I'm looking for about 10 people who are ready to do what it takes to lead with integrity, find balance, and take your school to the next level. If you're looking to improve your leadership in a measurable way, go to transformativeprincipal.org/mastermind to see if you qualify to join a group of like-minded people who are ready to be the best principals in the country. With summer coming up, we principals have a unique opportunity to get a lot of work done with no students and few teachers. If you want to learn a goal-setting program that makes your goals come to life, go to transformativeprincipal.org and sign up for the email newsletter and get my goal-setting framework that helps me accomplish a lot in a little bit of time. Welcome to Transformative Principal. Today I'm excited to have Kimberly Miles on the show again. If you'll remember, she was in episodes 112 and 113, where she talked about being a turnaround principal and treating others as smart professionals in her building. You can get those episodes by going to transformativeprincipal.org/episode 112 and transformativeprincipal.org/episode 113. Kimberly Miles is the principal of East Gresham Elementary School. She has also joined the mastermind and has been a great benefit to those who are in the group. And so, Kimberly, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the podcast again. And would you take a moment and just talk about how the mastermind has helped your day-to-day work as a principal?
It's been really an important practice for me because it gives me an opportunity to be reflective on the skills and strategies that I use as a building leader. And it's also held me to a level of accountability on my actions and how purposeful I am in my role. So for instance, as we meet each week, we set a goal, a personal goal for us to work on individually for the week. So sometimes the work can become very broad, but this opportunity has helped me narrow my focus to really prioritize what I value and what is most important as a building principal of an elementary school and a turnaround school. So again, helping me to narrow my focus, hold myself accountable to do the right work. And it also, I get the opportunity to bounce my ideas off like colleagues who are also embedded in their own work, and I can be reflective of the practices that they bring to the conversation and how I can incorporate those into my own practices.
And just to be clear, Kimberly, you're already a person who holds yourself accountable. How is it different doing it with a group of like-minded colleagues?
So I have to indicate, did I do it or not? Did I meet or come close to the goal that I set for myself that week? So not only do I have to hold myself accountable, but I have others that are going to be supporting me as I do the work and offering me suggestions and asking clarifying questions on how I did the work. And so again, it's just holding myself accountable with like colleagues and, sharing and in the celebrations and opportunities to rethink and do it again differently.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been amazing to see how each person in the mastermind has grown as this has gone on, and how the different kinds of questions that we're asking each other and the different things that we're doing really, to me, shows a greater focus and growth than we had before. The next question is, what advice would you have for someone who's thinking about doing the mastermind, who may still be on the fence and not sure if they want to do it or not?
I would really recommend it for those of you that are looking for an opportunity to refine your practice, but also be inspired to think outside the box and maybe look at what others are doing to inspire yourself to do the work at a deeper level and a more effective level. It's great to share ideas with others and then to have them do some thinking for you and see it more globally so that they can help you narrow down to really what your priorities are and how can you implement those to fine-tune your learning practices. For instance, one of the colleagues on Mastermind, every week we would meet through video conferencing, and behind him was a data wall. And as I looked at that data wall every single week, I thought to myself, why am I not doing that? That is such an effective practice. I need to do that, as well as my staff needs to be thinking about individual student performance data, not just globalistic percentages of students who are meet or not yet meeting. So it allowed us to bring our practice here at East Gresham Elementary School to a level where we're narrowing down and drilling down to student performance data. And wow, what a great opportunity it has been for us here at East Gresham Elementary School to enhance our teaching and learning environment. Not only are teachers looking at what students are doing, but they're also being reflective of how their practices in the classroom are impacting student learning and what they can collaboratively do together to enhance and increase that. So again, somebody who's thinking about doing this opportunity for Mastermind, it gives you an opportunity to speak with like colleagues and learn from them and refine your practice and do it better and support student success as well as the success of your staff.
Yeah, absolutely. That same data wall that I saw in the Mastermind inspired me to actually take the next step on something that I'd been thinking about and just hadn't pulled the trigger. And so for the first time, I believe in our school's history, we looked at each grade level, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and looked at all the data that we had on the kids. And then as a team of teachers sat around the table and collaborated on what that student individually needed based on their test scores, but also based on what the teachers knew about the kids. So, it goes from more than just looking at the data and using the data, but then also taking student information that that the teacher stuff that you can only know by looking at them and talking with them and knowing them, and not being only focused on the data, but focused on each individual kid, which I know has been happening at your school as well. And so doing those kinds of things allows us to have a good opportunity to really hone in on what it is that we can do. And so for me, that same thing has happened where we've had much better conversations. We've narrowed down our priorities, and I'm doing my work at a much more effective level, like you said. Is it worth it, the investment of time and money to do the Mastermind to you, Kimberly?
It has been for me personally because it's something that I'm investing in for myself. Sometimes we do, as building leaders, we are often so service-oriented to those around us, and that's what we love to do, and that's what we get to do. But sometimes we need to take care of ourselves as well, and this is my opportunity to do just that, is to invest in time and money in myself to be a better leader so that I can not only be effective in the role that I've been asked to do, but also to be inspiring to those other administrators around me. What is the practices that we're doing here at East Gresham Elementary, and how can we collaboratively learn together on how to incorporate maybe some of the things that I'm doing, but also learn from others as well. So it's been really beneficial to me. But there's one other comment that I really wanted to make, and that was for those of you that are thinking about doing the Mastermind. I also think it's important, I mentioned before, and Jethro, you did too, about using the data to inform our instruction to enhance student learning. But I've also learned from other colleagues on the Mastermind that it's not just about hard data, it's also about soft data. I learned from practices of other colleagues on Mastermind that the soft data, that the stories that students bring with them are just as relevant and important and have helped us build a culture of learning and honoring those diverse cultures that our students bring to the conversation and using that as a starting point to enrich the conversation.
Yeah, that's really powerful. And we've been able to share and hear great stories about people overcoming obstacles and students finding success. And it's been so cool to hear those things and know that we're not alone in striving for greatness, which to me is really exciting. So, Kimberly, we have also done the Strengths Finder test and the DISC personality profile to help us learn more about ourselves. What's one or two interesting things that you've learned about yourself as a leader that were surprising or shocking or interesting or reaffirmed things that you've believed for a long time?
As I looked at the Strength Finder results, it was really reflective to me to find the areas that I could enhance or develop to fine-tune my practice. And some of them were surprising, and I may or may not have agreed with them. But after careful reflection, yes, they were very much true. And so the Strength Finder gave me an opportunity to, again, be reflective of my practices as a building leader, and how can I use those strengths to enhance our professional learning community and to be supportive to the teachers and instructional assistants who work here at East Gresham, and then to identify the areas where I need to build further clarification on or enhance to facilitate learning in a different way. That was also insightful. So the strengths, improve upon those, and then the areas where I may need to do more self-reflection and grow from that was really valuable to me.
Awesome. And anything to say about the DISC? You've taken it, but we haven't talked about it yet in the mastermind.
Well, it very much confirmed my style, let's say. And for instance, on the interactive measure that they used, how I interact with others and show emotion it was my lowest score, but definitely an area for improvement on. And how can I use that skill to enhance the conversations that I need to have with my staff and families and students? And the strengths that we identified there, whether it be the stability or decisiveness, that was enabling me to see my areas of strengths and how I can use that to facilitate a teaching and learning system effectively.
Cool. Very exciting. And these are fun conversations for us to have. And, it's only an hour each week. And I feel like we could go on for many more hours each week because we're all so focused and engaged in it. It's helping each of us in our own way. Any final comments before we close, Kimberly?
No, it's just been a really enriching experience for me, and I really look forward to the time that I've set aside each week to have these conversations. And it's been great because I have a sign outside my door that says conference call, please wait. And my staff really is kind of curious about what am I doing to enhance my own learning. So it's also, they value and appreciate that I'm taking the time for me to take a little bit of professional development on how to fine-tune my own practice. So we're all learning together. We're all doing targeted professional development to enhance what we've been asked to do.
Yeah, that is awesome. It is important for our staff to see what we're doing to make ourselves better and not just always telling them what they can do to make themselves better. So I really appreciate that humble perspective that you bring, Kimberly. For those of you who are listening, if you are interested in joining, we'll be opening up for the next quarter starting in July. And so if you are interested, you can do what Kimberly did. Go to transformativeprincipal.org/mastermind and set up a call with me, and we can make sure that you're a good fit and have you be part of the mastermind and refine yourself and enhance yourself through this awesome work of a mastermind. Kimberly, thank you so much for sharing your experiences today. Transformative Principal is a proud member of the Education Podcast Network. Podcasts for educators by educators. Visit edupodcastnetwork.com for more great podcasts.